So, and also, to try this out. The $60 is just not something you want to spend. The L'Oreal, well, technically, YSL is L'Oreal. Hi, I'm Mallory Brooke, makeup artist and content creator here on YouTube, and I have played with my lighting. If you're new here, I just moved into a new house, and so the studio setup is fairly new, and I'm trying to, kind of hone in on lighting and sound, so feel free to leave any critiques and things like that in the comments. I want to make my videos fun for you to watch and pleasing on your eyeballs, so please do not hesitate to give me feedback. I really appreciate the time that you guys have been taking to give me feedback on how to better any situation. I did a foundation face-off with the Armani Luminous Silk versus my both beloved foundations actually, the Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint, to see how similar and how different they were. Well, I thought it would be fun to do this again, a foundation face-off, but this time high-end versus drugstore face-off. So if you've watched any of my recent videos, you know that I love the YSL All Hours foundation. So I went out and I picked up the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Up to 24-Hour Foundation. I have never tried this foundation before. It is not a new foundation, but it is supposed to be, from what I've read on the details of the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, it's supposed to be a dupe for the YSL All Hours. Now, I wouldn't be surprised because L'Oreal does own YSL. So, and also L'Oreal is a beloved drugstore brand because it is kind of like the high-end version of drugstore as far as performance, mascaras, things like that. So I'm really excited to see how similar the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation is to the YSL All Hours Foundation. Both of these foundations are supposed to be medium coverage. Both of these foundations are supposed to have a natural, luminous, matte finish, and both of these foundations are supposed to be extremely long wearing, waterproof, transfer proof, sweat proof. So I really think that they're gonna be pretty similar as far as formulation goes, as far as feel goes. I'm really excited to try this out. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation is an SPF 25, price tag of $16 plus tax, and the YSL All Hours has an SPF 30 and it is $60 plus tax. So if the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear is anything close to the YSL All Hours as far as wear time, feel, and all of those things, I think this will be a very happy find for me and for you if the $60 is just not something you want to spend. I do have a dedicated review on the YSL All Hours Foundation, so if you would like to watch that, I will link it below. And if you're new here, hi, please go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you in this beautiful, positive community we have created over here. So fun, so just like no filter, nice, happy times over here. But I have dry, sensitive, breakout prone skin, and the YSL All Hours has been an absolute favorite of mine for quite some time since it launched. I paid $60 for it, and I have loved every time that I have worn this foundation. I like the weight of it, I like the feel of it, I like the wear time of it, I like the way it photographs. Now, like I said, if the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24-Hour Wear Foundation is anything like the YSL All Hours for $16, I'm all about it. Also, my foundation reviews never, ever once have had a filter on them, and they definitely will never. So unfiltered, we're gonna get natural light shots. I'm gonna show you what both foundations look like at the end of the day, as well as after a workout. That is how I test the sweat proof aspect of these claims. So today's leg day, we will definitely find out if the L'Oreal Infallible is sweat proof. I know the YSL All Hours is, so it'll be interesting, but we're gonna see all of the nitty gritty of it all. So let's go ahead and get started on application. I will be applying both with the same beauty blender. This is the Beauty Blender Pro, so everybody has an equal and fair chance here as far as application, look, and feel. I used my Dyson Airwrap for the first time in a long time today because I've been loving the Dyson Airstraight, and so my hair has been very you know, sleek lately. And so I forgot like how much volume that the Dyson Airwrap actually gives. And I have videos on both the Dyson Airstraight and the Dyson Airwrap. We'll link those below as well. All right, let's get started. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I purchased the shade, where'd you go? 430. I don't know how similar this will be to the shade L7 in the YSL All Hours that I have. Currently, I'm a little self-tanned, so I'm kind of like in between my winter shades. This is interesting. It's got like a perfect place for your finger to use the pump. What? Are we close enough? I believe so. Okay, on the left side of my face, I'm going to apply the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. So let's see how this goes. Oh, wow. It actually, upon first looks of it, it looks a lot like the L'Oreal. Well, technically, YSL is L'Oreal. The YSL All Hours. I am just gonna go ahead and draw a line here for one. So we'll have, oh wow. It is very fragranced. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but whew, fragranced to the gods of it all. Oh my God, oh wow. Wow, hopefully that dissipates. And then on this side, on the right side, I'm going to apply the YSL All Hours foundation in the shade LW7. There is a light fragrance with the YSL All Hours, but you do not get that like, ooh, girl, that it doesn't hit you in the face like this L'Oreal Infallible. All right, so let's go ahead and start blending out. You have work time with the YSL All Hours. I'm not quite sure if you have work time with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, so I'm just gonna go ahead and work her into the skin already. And I do not have any primer on. I only have my skincare as skin prep. Ooh, that fragrance is really, really strong, actually, to be honest with you. That's a little headachy. I don't know. I know people love the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, so I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about the fragrance though. It's definitely matte. Upon first application, I am like, wow, very matte. Now, I am very dry, if you're not familiar, around my nose, all around my T-zone and my chin. So that's where it would pick up dryness, if it's gonna pick up any dryness. I feel like the shade 430 is definitely a little orange. I actually went to Ulta to pick up the L'Oreal Infallible, and the first bottle I purchased was actually expired. So I had to walk back into Ulta, and they were out of the shade that I originally chose. And so I'm wondering if that shade that I picked up, I don't remember which one it was. It might have been like 420 or something like that, or 425 or something like that. But this was the closest shade they had that wasn't expired. Let me tell you, a lot of the stuff was expired. Okay, so honestly, aside from the really intense fragrance that the L'Oreal Infallible has, the finish of both of these look pretty similar. Like the Infallible really isn't picking up, and I'm picking up the Infallible sponge, areas that I need pressed into my skin. They look really similar on the skin. Now the shades are definitely different. LW7 is a little more yellow. I'm definitely more yellow undertoned than orange. I'm just using what was on the back of my hand to apply the rest of that YSL All Hours. Both feel very weightless. It doesn't feel like I have a bunch of foundation on. Oh wow, these are pretty similar. I'm really kind of shocked right now. Now, like I said, the YSL All Hours does have fragrance in it, but it's not as strong. So that's one thing I like about that. I'm just making sure that I pick up the right sponges so I'm pressing in the other foundation into my skin. Okay. Both foundations look pretty good. Now, I don't even think, there's not really that big of a difference in the shades. I'm probably gonna bronze up my right side a little more than my left, but pretty decent. Okay, L'Oreal. And I'm trying to like waft the fragrance. And both on the back of my hand, this is the L'Oreal Infallible and this is the YSL All Hours. They are settling down on my hands even similarly. What if this is like an exact dupe? I mean, I feel like since both have sat on my skin just a little bit longer, the YSL All Hours is a little more blurring around my pore area, and the L'Oreal Infallible it doesn't enhance my pores, but it doesn't blur them as much. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, apply the rest of my makeup, give this, both foundations, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear is on my left and the YSL All Hours is on my right. I'm gonna give them a good 30-ish minutes to settle down. I know how the YSL All Hours settles down. I love the way it settles down on my skin, but I'm so curious if the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear is going to do the exact same thing. So I will be back with the rest of my makeup on so we can see how these look, and then we'll go into some natural light and then push through a sweaty workout and see if the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation is just as transfer proof, sweat proof, waterproof as the YSL All Hours. On the back of my hand, I can smell the L'Oreal Infallible. The YSL is almost completely dissipated, so that's something to think about there. Oh wow, this is pretty impressive. What? You guys, this is wild to me. So after letting both foundations settle while applying my makeup, and just as a refresher, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation is on the left side and the YSL All Hours is on the right side. I don't know if I could tell you that I honestly see a difference in the finish, in the look, and in the feel. Oh, there's some lipstick of these foundations. This might be an actual dupe. Now, the ingredients list is not the same, okay? But the way that both foundations have settled on my skin, look on my skin, they look just about the same. And both fragrances have dissipated. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are someone who's like anti-fragrance 100%, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear will bother you. It dissipated, but it took a little longer than the YSL All Hours. Now, I do not have irritation issues or reactions with the YSL All Hours fragrance. I will see, I'm sure, by the end of the day if I do with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. So, and honestly, looking at each of them on the back of my hand and the way that they settled on my hands, they even look the same. It is so wild to me. Both are very lightweight feeling, very luminous matte finishes, medium coverage, both have SPF. Again, the L'Oreal Infallible only has SPF 25 and the YSL All Hours has SPF 30. But as far as a $16 foundation versus a $60 foundation, after letting both settle on my face for 30 minutes, I cannot tell the difference. Now, it will be interesting to see at the end of the night if my face can tell the difference, whether I have a reaction to the L'Oreal or not. But now all we have to do is go out into the natural light, see what these look like. If they look the same, that's gonna be wild under natural light because I do have studio professional lighting, all across the board. So, it dissipates the light evenly across my face. Now, when you get into natural light, you have light coming in from all angles, so then you can really see the differences in the foundations. So I love doing these foundation face-offs. I would love to know if you have any two recommendations to face off together like this. I will definitely be doing more of these videos. Let's go out into natural light and see if we can tell a difference. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear on the left and the YSL All Hours on the right. It's not picking up on any dryness. It looks great in studio lighting and looks just about the same. And the shades are even very different. The 430 is a little peachier and the YSL All Hours is definitely, LW7 is more yellow. I, kind of applied a little more bronzer to the right side of my face because it's lighter, but they look, it doesn't look like I have two different foundations on, even with the shade differences. It's so weird to me. Okay, you guys, here we are in natural light. We have the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear on the left and the YSL All Hours on the right. So L'Oreal, YSL, again, L'Oreal owns YSL. Now that is a dry patch and a half. I don't know how any foundation would make that look better, but that is the L'Oreal. Looks like I am having like a little bit of bumps popping up that I don't believe were there before. So L'Oreal Fresh Wear. I need to do a good dermaplaning of my face. I can see that right now. This looks a little dry, but I did powder my concealer. That's the only area I powdered, so that might be a situation. And here is the YSL All Hours. From what I can see and what I can tell in the phone looking at the screen, this area looks more blurred than the L'Oreal. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Chin, L'Oreal, YSL. It's close. I mean, let's turn around here. Direct sunlight. Honestly, it looks great. I'm really excited to see how well it lasts through a workout. Again, it's leg day, which is perfect to see if a foundation is sweat proof, because leg day is the hardest and heaviest day. Yeah, I just feel like the YSL looks a little more blurred than the L'Oreal, but honestly, if you wanted to spend $16 instead of $60, I don't think that this is bad. Now, hopefully I don't get any irritation. We'll find out. Again, L'Oreal, YSL, you guys are gonna have to let me know your thoughts. The shade differences, I can't even really tell. All right, let's go get a workout in and see how it looks after a good sweat sesh. This is so fun. I love doing foundation face-offs. It's my new thing, honestly. Oh, look, when you smile, L'Oreal. I just feel like this looks a little blurred. And if you're new, I am 34, okay? So we have fine lines and things like that, you know, crinkling and wrinkling. That's just part of it. I'm a human being out in the woods doing foundation reviews. You're gonna see it. I told y'all, unfiltered. What? Oh, it's post-workout time, but it's also my little girl's time. They heard mommy come outside. Are we having fun, ladies? Oh my God, Edith. Meredith, come see. What do you think of the foundation? Oh, please don't peg me. Girls! Girls! Foundation review, close up, no filter. Ow! That really hurt, Marjorie. Marjorie is constantly biting me. Okay, you guys. I'm not even gonna say what's what. Here's the left side. Here's the right side. It's now almost 7. Why is that? Who knows what that is? I probably scratched my face. All right. Left side is L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. We've got some gathering around the nose. We've got enhanced kind of pore situation. Right side, YSL All Hours. No, there's some gathering. Honestly, they're pretty comparable. I mean, I prefer, after wearing this all day, the feel of the right side of my face, which is the YSL All Hours, because I started feeling a tightening on the right side of my face where I'm wearing the L'Oreal Infallible, and I didn't like that. I don't like that feeling. I don't think many people do, especially with dry skin. It's not fun to feel like your skin is tightening, and this side of my face is less desirable than the right side. I just prefer the overall look of the right side of my face. But you guys tell me, it's pretty close. It's not like, if I were to do this, you wouldn't know I was wearing 2 different foundations. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be up close and personal. But yeah, you see it breaking up around my nose pretty bad? Oh, that looks really bad. Okay. And then here's this side. It actually looks bad on both sides a little bit. My skin is a little extra dry recently, I feel like, with all this weather change, but these are pretty comparable and close if you ask me. So I'm gonna let this set on my face, and this is after sweating. I don't have any like sweat lines, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like anything is melting off my face. My nose is just really extra dry. But other than that, I feel like everything looks pretty comparable, you know? But you guys let me know in the comments. All right, I will see you at the end of the night. Like I said, currently I think it's 7, and I'll see you in a couple more hours, see how this settles down at the end of the night, back in the studio. What? Okie dokie. It is the end of the night, and I am so surprised by this foundation face off. So, just a refresher. Before I refresh your memory, let's look here. I think it's because I am struggling so hard with these camera settings and lighting, but here we are. We're figuring it out. I am very, very, very surprised by the results of this foundation face off. That's what I was saying. The left side is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24-Hour Foundation. Here you go. And then the other side is the YSL All Hours Foundation. $16, $60. Overall, I do not like the fragrance in this. It dissipates, but it dissipates less quickly than the YSL All Hours fragrance. But if you had to have a dupe for the YSL All Hours, hands down, it would definitely be the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I think that it's a drugstore dupe, is that it gathered more around my dryness around my nose. There was a little bit of a tight feeling on the left side of my face, and I prefer the finish of the YSL All Hours. There's a touch more glowiness in there, but they're both pretty luminous matte. I mean, I don't know if you could get any dupier for the YSL All Hours foundation, or honestly any dupier than for, like, this is so close. So if you are somebody who shops at the drugstore and you're looking for something to try that would be like the YSL All Hours but not $60, go ahead and try the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24-Hour Wear Foundation. It's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it looks really good. I think that if you are looking for a medium coverage, blurring, matte finish foundation that is pretty comfortable to wear all day and also lasts, I mean, we did leg day today. It is currently, I don't have my phone, I think it's like almost 9 o'clock. So I've had both foundations on for close to 12 hours and they both look great. The only difference is the gathering around my nose right here and the breaking up around where I had my glasses. I don't feel like I had a bad reaction or anything on the left side of my face from the L'Oreal foundation, so that is great. It does look a little more blurring on the L'Oreal side, and then the YSL All Hours has more of a glowy kind of natural look to it. When at first, when I applied them, the YSL All Hours looked more blurring, but as the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation set on my skin, it definitely looks like it blurred my pores a little more. Fascinating. This was great. I hope you guys enjoyed the second installment of my foundation face-offs. Let me know in the comments below what foundations I should do next, what you think might be a dupe, or what you're interested in seeing compete against each other. Even if it's just like similar foundations, we can find out. Instead of going to 2 separate reviews, why not? Right down the face off, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give this video a thumbs up. Take a look at my pores, my face, yes, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I am gonna go take my makeup off. It's gonna be great. I've earned it. Pretty cool. Wow, I'm really blown away. Everything I'm wearing and mentioned is in the info below. Thank you so much for watching, and good night. And let me know if you've tried the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear or the YSL All Hours. What are your thoughts? Not many differences. This blew my mind. Okay, good night.